Hey, this is Mark from Caliber Home Loans. Today we're going to talk about the MSHDA loans. So MSHDA stands for Michigan State Housing and Development Authority, and they provide specialized purchase programs for low to moderate income home buyers in the state of Michigan. So we're going to talk today we're going to talk about two of their purchase programs. So MSHDA offers two sets of programs for home buyers. The first one is called the Michigan Home Loan. This is strictly for first-time home buyers or repeat buyers that are in targeted areas. Targeted areas are sometimes they're whole counties, and sometimes they're maybe a couple of cities within a county. For instance, in Oakland County, Southfield, Royal Oak Township, and Pontiac are targeted areas. So that means you can be a repeat buyer. You don't have to be a first-time home buyer. So to be a first-time home buyer, you cannot have owned a home in the last 3 years, 36 months. And then they also offer the MI Home Loan Flex, which is for first-time and repeat home buyers. It does not have to be in a targeted area. Those rates typically are a little bit higher. They do offer the $7,500 down payment assistance, just like the Michigan Home Loan. And both programs offer no down payment assistance option with a lower rate. When you're using one of MSHDA's down payment assistance programs, the amount of the assistance is in the form of a second mortgage. So a lot of people think that MSHDA is a gift. MSHDA does not gift the money. They want their money back at some point. So it's actually an interest-free loan. It'll just sit out there. It doesn't accrue interest. You don't have to make a payment. But at some point, if you refinance the first mortgage or sell the house, the payoff will also include the amount that MSHDA needs to be repaid. The first mortgage will be one of the following. It can be a conventional. It can be an FHA. It can be a rural development, or it can be a VA. Now, to go VA, the VA only allows for the non-down payment assistance program. They don't allow that second mortgage on a VA loan. So, but sometimes using the non-down payment assistance is actually a better deal than a VA based on the rate. So the borrowers need to qualify under the first mortgage guidelines as well as MSHDA guidelines. MSHDA guidelines are typically a little bit more restrictive. So generally, if you qualify under MSHDA, you almost always qualify under the underlying first mortgage rules. So MSHDA guidelines are as follows. A minimum credit score is 640, 660 for a manufactured house. That's for all borrowers that are on the loan. Maximum of 45% debt-to-income ratio. So if you're at a 45.001, MSHDA is not interested. They will not bend on this rule. All adults living in the home must be on the mortgage and credit qualify unless you're a full-time student. Full-time students are exempt, and we have to document that. So what does that mean? That means that if you're married and you've got a 680 and your spouse or other significant other that you're living with is got a 600, that person can't be on the mortgage, so you can't use the home loan. You'd have to go to the Flex program where we don't need to have all adults living in the house be on the mortgage. So you need less than $20,000 in liquid assets. That's for the down payment assistance program only. If you're not using their down payment assistance, then you can have as much in the bank as you have. There's no cap on that. There are income limits based on the property location by county, by targeted area, non-targeted area, and family size. And the maximum sale price under any of the MSHDA programs is $224,500. If you're using a down payment assistance program, you must complete a homebuyer education class. So the MSHDA guidelines for the Flex, you need a credit score of 660 for all borrowers that are on the loan. Same debt-to-income ratio. All adults living in the home do not need to apply. You still need the less than $20,000 in liquid assets if you're using the down payment assistance version. Income limits, the same income limits exist based on property location and family size, and the maximum sales price is $224,500. And again, if you're using the down payment assistance program, you will have to complete the homebuyer education class. For both loan programs, the interest rate for the down payment assistance options are higher than the non-down payment assistance. You're using their money for an extended period of time, and so they're going to charge you a little bit higher rate. MSHDA sets the rates for the MI Home Loan program. Typically, they'll change rates maybe every month or two, sometimes up to 3 months, just depends on the market. the down payment assistance comes from bond sales. So as they have to change the rate that they pay on the bonds, they'll change the interest rates that the homeowners need to pay on the mortgage. Now again, the rate is on the first mortgage. There's no interest rate on the second mortgage. Now the rates for the home loan flex are based on market conditions and can change every day. So that's something we need to keep an eye on. And again, the non-down payment assistance program is a little bit lower rate than the down payment assistance version. And again, so we've already covered this, depending on what traditional rates are. So sometimes the non-down, depending on where your credit score is, if you've got a lower credit score, sometimes a non-down payment assistance program is actually a better deal than going with just a straight FHA or a conventional, especially if you're buying a condo and you were going to go conventional, because there is a pricing adjustment, a negative pricing adjustment on a condominium, typically on the conventional side, where it'll jack up the rate. So it just depends on where you sit, and that's just something that I would go through, depending on, once we look at your credit score and in the situation, we would decide which program best suits your needs. MSHDA programs are available to help low and moderate income individuals and families, designed for borrowers with average or better credit and the ability to live within their means. So what we mean by this is that, and that's why there's this 45% debt to income cap. So if you have a ton of debt and you've got a higher ratio, MSHDA is not going to help with this. They want you to have some control over your debt load. So it's just something that to keep in mind. And sometimes we can actually look at the credit report and make some adjustments to get that debt load down. And I've been originating MSHDA loans for 27 years, and I'm a huge believer in the program. I think it's a great program. I've done a ton of them over the years. I continue to do them, and I think it's a great way to get into your first house, especially. So I gave you some information, the MSHDA website, and the link to go to the approved housing educators. Again, if you're going to use the down payment assistance version, you have to take a class that they offer live and online versions. So let me know if you've got any questions. You can give me a call at 248-705-8431, or I do have all my contact information. Shoot me an email, and then we'll go from there. Thanks, and have a great day.